Tanner, man. Free Vase talk to him. I'm finna holler at you, man. So, if you didn't know, if you've been on a rock, Rich Homie Quan, passed away, man. Word is it's an overdose. He was 34 years old. We all know Rich Homie Quan, man. I'm gonna say he's an Atlanta legend. Now, I know people say when somebody dies, everybody puts that legend jacket on them. I'm going to say Rich Homie Quan's a legend. His run he had, I'd say back in, 2013, 2014, when he came out, his style, his cadence, his flow, he made a lot of fire songs. A lot of people. I feel like a lot of artists got their whole flow, their whole get up from a lot of his songs, and he had some fire tapes. You know, I'll never stop going in. I promise to not stop going in. He had the Rich Gang collab with Young Thug before him and Thug fell out. I mean, Rich Homie Quan did a whole lot at a young age. He was a staple in Atlanta. You know how the music industry go, entertainment industry go. I feel like he got crossed out. He might have made some poor decisions. A lot of people pick some other sides. But long story short, I'm gonna give Rich Homie Quan, I'm gonna put him on legend status. At least for the ATL for sure. And it's very sad to see. 34 years old. Apparently, they released a 911 call from his girlfriend. She called 911 and she pretty much saying that she found him, you know, on the couch, responsive. She seen him the night before. He was on the couch, pretty much slept on the couch all night. She woke up the next morning, he was still on the couch. She go over to check on him. He's unresponsive. She move him a little bit. He start foaming out the mouth. She calls 911. That tape released. Then I seen this morning. Now I don't know how true this is, but a lot of media outlets is putting this out that Rich Homie Quan brother is saying that he found Rich Homie Quan in the kitchen, laying down on the floor like he passed out, eating food. He picked Rich Homie Quan up, took him to the couch, and went on about his business. The next morning, Rich Homie Quan still on that same couch, dead, and they're saying it's an overdose. There's a whole lot to unpack with that. And I'm going to speak on a couple things. So a lot of people in the comments is like, yo, you know, you found Buddy on the floor, laid down. You didn't decide to call the cops. A lot of people was coming at him all crazy. You know, understood, you know, but you gotta understand the media puts things out, you know. He might have had more to these quotes, but he might have had said more, but you know, he was only quoted on those words, and those media outlets put that out there. So a lot of people's like, yo, you find him on the floor, in the kitchen, on the ground, and you don't call an ambulance. Now, it's easy to say that in the comments, you feel me? But a lot of this stuff I speak from an addict's point of view. Because if you didn't know, I've been a drug addict. And I've been a real drug addict. That's what all my TikToks about, recovery. I'm 17 months sober and clean. No relapses, no slip-ups in 17 months. I had a fentanyl addiction for some years. I'd say the better of 4 years, maybe 4.5 years. Before that, I messed with a little age. Perks was my thing. I did Perks for a long time. Perks was the first opiate I did. I did Perks for a long time. I graduated to H for a small period because that's when fentanyl was there and fentanyl took off. So I did the fake blue 30s. My city, we call them dirty 30s. You know, other people call them perk 30s. which there's not really a perk 30, but I'm not gonna get into that. So long story short, I did the fentanyl pills, and I actually did the fentanyl powder as well. I've did drugs, man, since I was 16, 17 years old. I'm 32. I've done a lot of drugs, and I know what I'm talking about. From anything from the opiate side to the meth side to Xanax, I've done a lot of drugs. I know what I'm talking about, man. At least from an addict's point of view. I'm not a know-it-all, but I know what I'm talking about. Like I said, especially from an addict's point of view. So anyway, let's rewind. So people were saying, yo, you know, you found your brother laying down in the kitchen, passed out, nodded off, whatever. He's on the floor. You pick him up, take him to the couch, and let it be. A lot of people was like, why didn't you call 911? Like, why didn't you call an ambulance? I'm gonna tell you this right now, man. I've seen a lot of people nod it off. A lot. I've seen a lot of people nod it off. I've seen people that have overdose. I've had to Narcan people from an overdose. I've seen people nod it off, and I get them awake, and I didn't call an ambulance. Now, nobody has died the next morning. I've never woke somebody up that was passed out or nodded off, and then the next morning I found out they're dead. So from those little comments, from that quote that the media's putting out of what his brother said, it's going to be real easy to say, you know, why didn't you call the ambulance? But like I said, I have seen people passed out, nodded off, and I get them right, and I don't call the ambulance. The thing is, the brother said he just moved him, picked him up off the floor, moved him to the couch. So, you know, a lot of people's like, well, bro, you didn't even check on him? Like, did you check on him? You know, did you even try to make sure he was alive, he was coherent? That's what I would have done, and it's easy to say what you would have done in a situation when you're not in that situation. But from somebody who's been in those situations, I physically have walked in and seen somebody out on the bed, and they don't wake up to just hey, bro, wake up. You know, I've had to shake these people. They were nodded off, and I have said that if I didn't come in there and get them people up, they might have would have died, because you don't know if, you know, your heart's slowing down, your blood's slowing down. Hey, look, man, when you're nodding off to a drug, when you do a drug, opiates make people nod. And when you nod off, people will literally nod off like they're asleep. And when you nod off, that's close to an overdose, bro. Look at it from your body standpoint. You're like going to sleep. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying if you nod off, you are overdosing. I'm just saying that's pretty close, you know? There's been a lot of people nod off and overdose. There's been a lot of people overdose, and it started with a nod, all right? So that's that. So I don't know if he checked Rich Homie Quan after he picked him up to make sure he was alive or at least responsive. I don't know that. Like I said, the media just posted that he said he picked him up off the floor after finding him, put him on the couch, and went along his way. So although that's sketch, although that's, you know what I'm saying, that's sketch as hell, that's weird, I can't condemn that man for that right now. Because you don't know if they find Rich Homie passed out, nodded off all the time. You don't know. These are his people. These are people who are around him. So you don't know how many times they have found him passed out or nodded off. And they just, you know what I mean, pick his head up, move him. Sometimes he been, you've seen people come in just drunk and they flop on the bed. You take their shoes off, maybe prop their head up, cover them up, and you walk out the door. You know what I'm saying? So it's not, I know it's easy to type and be like, oh, you didn't call the ambulance. What? I get that, but that's his brother, man, and they've been around these people, so we don't know the connection they have. We don't know how many times Rich Homie Quan has been like that, and he wake up good. I've had people I've found nodded off, and I make sure they good, and they get pissed off at you because they on their nod, and you don't want to disturb their nod. Nigga ain't dying, I'm good. I've had people that tell me not to Narcan them if I think they're overdosing, because that Narcan strips all of that drug out of your body, and then you go into like a withdrawal sort of stage, because you got dope in you. You get Narcan, dope strips out of you. Now you're feeling like crap. I've seen people overdose, get Narcan, and then they literally go back to using within an hour. I've seen it. I've been in the drug addiction world a long time. I've seen a lot. Not just the weed smoking world, not just the alcohol. I've seen real life drug addiction, meth, heroin, fentanyl, Percocet, Xanax. I have lived and seen that life. And trust me when I tell you, a lot of times people nod off. They don't want to be bothered. They don't want to be shook in and I know I'm just making sure you're good, but they don't want that. So if you got a homeboy and he's always nodding off when he's over there laid out, you're not really gonna think, oh, I'm gonna call the ambulance at this time. No, granted, like I said, the homeboy was laying on the floor in the kitchen, so that's a total different instance. If I walk in the kitchen and my wife is laying on the floor, I'm gonna do everything I can. Let's make sure you're good. Then we call the hospital, let's just call the ambulance, just get you checked out. You don't gotta leave with them, let's just get you checked out. You know, all of that. So, but we can't really condemn Quan's brother right there, man. You know, we can't. Now, more things are gonna come out. But that was a big blow right there, hearing it this morning. The 911 call, that girl, that his girlfriend seemed like she didn't know what to even do. And I'm gonna say this, man, I hope it's not too late in the video. I hope you're still watching, or I hope you catch this part. I'm gonna make another video on this. Man, people are actively doing fentanyl. People are willingly doing fent. All right? All the fent ain't accidentally getting ingested. There's a whole community, there's a whole demographic, whatever the word, of people who do fent willingly, on purposely, knowingly, calling, needing fent. You only got purse? I don't want no purse. Nigga, I want fent. Because let me tell you about fentanyl. If you're a drug addict, if you do Percocets, if you do Roxys, if you do any opiate, even lean, right? One, you build up a tolerance to these things, man. Ask anybody who do perks, who really do perks on a daily. They probably started with one, a half of one. And where I'm from, we crushed them down and snorted them. We didn't pop them. You know, people talk about popping perks, swallowing them. Where I'm from, we didn't even pop them because we snorted them. Because once you snort them, you don't really pop them no more because you can't feel them. You snort them and go up your nose and you feel it. So let me tell you about that. They start with one, right? Ask them how many they can do now. Forget a day. Ask them how many they can do in one setting. You started with one back when you started, right? Just one. Now you can do 2, 3 at a time. Now you can look up through a whole day. You've been getting geeked the whole day. You done 10, 15 pills. And that's doable. Don't if you do a perk 10, it's 10 milligrams. 10 pills is 100 milligrams. You can do 100 milligrams and don't even come close to an overdose. Take it from someone who's done it. Take it from some people who do it. You feel me? So a lot of people are doing this fent because knowingly or unknowingly, because fent's in everything. So if you're getting pills off the streets, at some point in your drug addiction journey on the Percocets, you have done fent or you will do fent. And here's the kicker. You build up a tolerance, so you need more pills. And then you get a batch of Percocets, whatever you do, that has fent in them. And you don't know it, right? But you don't OD, you don't die. Those are going to be the best pills you've done. They're going to rock you. They're going to make you nod. They're going to make you itch. Whatever you look for when you do pills. They're going to numb you. All that, right? So let's say you're doing the Percocet/fentanyl batch and you don't know and you don't overdose. You can't go back to doing normal Percocets after that. You are going to think they're weak. Somebody gave you something weak. Somebody gave you something that ain't always straight because you've been doing the stronger Percocet. You've been doing fentanyl, thinking you're doing perks. So when you get real perks, it don't hit as hard as the fentanyl perks. You are unknowingly doing fent and you don't even know it. And you don't know how long you've been doing it. So so if you've got the thought that as soon as you do fent, you die, you're wrong. I've done a lot of fent for a long time. Have I overdosed? Yes, but obviously I'm still here. So everybody that does fent do not die, okay? And these people, and you boys and you girls that's doing Percocets, I don't know a percentage. I don't like saying stuff unless it's facts, but a large percentage of y'all are doing fent and you just don't know it. There's not a lot of fent in these fentanyl pills. I'm just going to tell you. I've done fentanyl pills for a long time. Then I switched to fent powder. And in my mindset, I'm thinking of a drug addict. I'm going to do the powder over the pills because it's more bang for my buck. If I spend $30 on powder versus $30 on pills, I'm going to get more fent in the fent powder versus the fent pills. That's what I'm getting at, okay? So it's the same process for the Percocet or fentanyl-laced pills, right? If one homeboy got just regular perks, $20, $15, whatever, right? And then another homeboy got the perks laced with fent for the same price. You're going to shop with the dude who got the stronger pills unknowingly because the stronger is doing more for you, all right? You're unknowingly doing fent and you don't even know it. And you're going to realize, you might not realize, but you should think to yourself, why am I getting more sick? Why am I needing more now? Why? What is it? Because you're going to start doing more. You feel me? Because fentanyl and Percocet ain't even close, bro. Once you start doing fent, you don't even do perk. The moment I touched fentanyl, I never purchased a Percocet pill. From the day that I did fent, I didn't purchase a Percocet for 4.5 years, man, because they would not do nothing. When I got perks, I gave them away because they wouldn't do anything. You can't substitute Percocet. You can't substitute Percocet for fentanyl. If you do fent, you don't do perks. It's a done deal. You know what I mean? Perks you're going to have to do to even remotely feel like you've done fent. You're going to have to do 10, 15, 20, man. I'm telling you, take it from me. So this is what I'm getting at. So that's how people unknowingly are doing fent. Now there's a demographic that knowingly does it. Either you got accidentally introduced or you graduated to it. Because like I said, once you're doing those Percocets and once you're doing all that, your tolerance gets higher, you need more pills, and eventually you're going to get introduced to something stronger. I'm going to tell you me, I was against fentanyl. I was against it. When I called and got my perks, I asked over and over, is it fent? Is it fent? Make sure I don't want the dirty ones. I don't want fent. I just want perks. But I was doing a lot of Percocets. Then I couldn't find any perks. This is when fent rolled around. Everybody had fent. They didn't have no perks. And I was sick. I didn't do any pills all day. All day I didn't do anything. Then my homegirl came over and had a Dirty 30, the M30s with fent laced in them. And she told me, and I was so sick, she was like, a little bit of this to get you better until you can find some perks. I did the babiest. The pills are already small. I did so little of it because I was afraid I was going to overdose and die. This is my first time doing it. I did a baby line, snorted it. It was little. It wasn't even a half. It might have been a 1/4. And that pill rocked me. I felt like I did 5 perks at once. I was itching so much, I scratched my leg until I broke skin and was bleeding. Right hand to God, I'm not lying. And from that moment there, why I was scared, because like, that's so strong. But then as an addict, I'm thinking, why would I buy Percocets for $20 a pill, or even whatever, even if they're cheap? Why would I spend more money on perks when I can just buy this one pill and feel the same way as if I bought 4 or 5 perks? I'm saving money. In my mind, I thought I can just do one. Nope. Just like you grow a tolerance to your Percocets, you grow a tolerance to your fentanyl. And now you need more and more and more and more. I went from doing 1 press fentanyl pill, I could do the same amount as a perks. I could do 10 and 15. I was buying 20 at a time just to do, man. I started selling them just to do them for free. So listen to me when I speak on this. So you can either unwillingly do fent or willingly do. But I'm going to let you know there's a geographic, there's a market. There's a demographic that willingly does fent. And y'all need to get that through your head, because a lot of people hide it. A lot of people doing fent, hiding it from the loved ones, hiding it from the homeboys. The only people know who I'm doing fent is people who sell it to me or the people who doing it with me. I keep it from everybody else because it's taboo. Because in some reason in our mind that Percocets, okay, fentanyl, you're crazy. That doesn't make sense. I've seen people say, like I said, like I did it. Hey, I want some perks. I don't want any fent. Bro, you're still doing opioid. Like, you get what I'm saying? And so when people hide it, you only find out when they end up in the hospital for an overdose, or they end up in a graveyard in a coffin from an overdose death. That's when you find out. Then the story goes, oh, he got a bad pill or he got laced. I'm not saying Rich Homie Quan was doing fent. I'm saying there's a good chance he was. There's a good chance he was, unknowingly or knowingly, okay? That's all I'm saying. And if he wasn't doing fent, like willingly, and he got a bad pill, that's how the story goes. Because eventually you're going to get a laced pill if you haven't already. That's what I'm saying. That's why I preach sobriety. And if you're in drug addiction, please, find your way to sobriety. Research, make a phone call, speak to someone, do whatever you can do over and over again. You run into a brick wall, do this. This doesn't work, find something else until you can reach that step of sobriety. Because I promise if you try it, and if you try it like your life's depending on it, because it is, eventually you'll get to the right step to make the start. No matter if it's a detox, if it's a clinic, if it's a rehab, whatever. That's why I preach sobriety, because I've seen death. I've seen families broke up. I've seen dead people. I've seen overdose. I've lost friends. I've seen the destruction. I've seen people that was dead and they're not even in the ground. They're dead on earth. And they lose relationships with their family, and they lose their money, and they lose their quality of life and their health. And they're just a junkie, chasing that foil, chasing that needle every day. You know how drug addiction goes. We hear the stories of it. So if you think you can just keep your drug addiction going, eventually something's going to fall. And it's scarier if you got money. It's scarier if you got money, because now money's not the problem. So now you got a bunch of yes men, a bunch of drug addicts with you, and you got a bag, so you don't have to worry about money. You just have to get it. Oh, Lord. That's even more scary than a person who has to go out and hustle or steal or finesse or scam to get their drug money, or even sell drugs to get it, because you don't have to do all that. You got money. You can order up 100 pills, and everybody around you could be on pills. Or the plug going, no, homie, you know what I'm saying? Brody calling, he got that bag. I'm damn sure going to keep something for him. It's even worse if you got money. So that's all I'm saying. If you're in that drug addiction, man, even if you're functional, because I started out functional, You don't just go directly to junkie mode. Most people start out as a functioning addict. Yeah, most people start out with the job, with their stuff together. Yeah, most people start, you start young and then you live your life through the drug addiction. You're hiding it. You go get the job, you get money, you get the car, you get all these things, and you're still doing drugs and you're functioning until one day you're not. Then you wake up and you look up and you're like, what the hell? I lost everything, or I'm losing everything to this little damn pill, or this little bag of powder, or this teeny tiny needle, to this bowl, to this straw, to this pipe. So that's why I preach the recovery, and that's why I preach sobriety, because I've seen it, bro. I've seen it, and I see it time and time again with entertainers and artists and rappers, because the entertainment industry is a sex and drug and evil fueled industry. If you don't think these artists is doing drugs, man, I'm not even gonna get in that. But yeah, bro. And last but not least, man, know what to do. If anybody around, if you do drugs, keep Narcan. You keep Narcan, your homie keep Narcan, your girlfriend, your mama keep Narcan everywhere. Keep it in the car, in your book bag, because you never know. You never know. Every time I've had to overdose somebody, it was sporadic, chaotic, at the blink of an eye. I never knew. I've had a Narcan people I'd never even seen before. Just lucky I've had Narcan on me. I've had a Narcan complete strangers, and I've had a Narcan best friends. Rich homie Quan dead at 34 from an apparent overdose. Social media outlets are, dropping the quotes that his brother said he found them. He found them the night before, and he picked him up and laid him on the couch. The next morning, his girlfriend finds him on the couch, unresponsive, called 911. Couldn't save him.